corporate greed and profiteering is not what's driving inflation, according to the San Francisco Fed in a recent piece they put out that's been shared and parroted and celebrated by a lot of large industries and industry people who want us to believe that their profiteering and greed isn't hurting us. No, no. According to the San Francisco Fed, they looked at the average data and that said it's not profiteering, it's all supply chain and demand surging from the lockdowns being lifted. Don't you know? Really? The lockdowns were lifted a couple of years ago. The supply chain issues, we've had a couple of years to fix those. I don't see prices falling. It goes against what we've already seen published by the Kansas City Fed, where they show all of the individual data pointing to how over half of the inflation has been driven by corporate greed and profiteering. No, no, no. San Francisco Fed says check the average data to tell the whole story. No, no, no. If this was like a teacher and they gave a spelling test and the average for the whole class stayed the same, and they said, see, no cheating, the average stayed the same. What if you go in and you talk to those students and then you find out, oh, there's a group of them, didn't come back from lunch, they were sick, teacher's a jerk, gave them all zeros. You had another group that said, those kids over there, they all got 100%, but I know they could see the board and they all cheated. Well, those zeros offset those 100s and we got the same average. Huh? Well, nobody cheated, right? Right, San Francisco Fed? Nobody cheated there? And it all flies in the face, too, of the record profits we're seeing companies bring in. They're publicly traded companies. They report their earnings calls. I know it's been a while since I did the financial news show, but it hasn't been that long. I still remember a thing or two. Come on. We know corporate profiteering and greed are grinding us all to dust. Those of us on the bottom, struggling paycheck to paycheck, hoping they don't raise rents so high, can't afford it. I mean, if one day's work can't pay for one day's rent and food and healthcare and clothing and gas, it's an unsustainable system. And yet they'll squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. They'll do it. And all the while, we're going to be told by people like the San Francisco Fed, no, 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 no. We can't, it's out of our hands. We can't control all this inflation. We have to keep charging you more and more. It's not so we can get rich. I mean, yeah, on our profit earnings calls, we're getting richer and richer, but it's not for that. We have to do this. Well, don't believe them because it's not true. We're going to talk more about this on this week's Half Cocktails podcast, and there's already an article up at halfcocktails.com. Thanks for listening.